wrestling friends, to another edition of Smarknado. I'm your host, Eric Druckman. With me, not always, the Dirty Danaconda, Dan Sesnett, is out today. It is with my esteemed privilege that I announce the birth of Lincoln Augustus Sesnett yesterday around 11:18 a.m., I want to say. Sorry, I did get his name fully right. That's all the credit that matters. But we're very happy for Dan. And in his place, I couldn't ask for two better co-hosts. First of all, returning the show, Mr. Joe Drescher.
Hello, how are you? Glad to be on the show, and glad that Dan now has a full Survivor Series team if he ever needed it.
Absolutely. And is Lincoln Augustus not the name of a future world champion?
Either that or former Roman Empire, one of the two.
Yeah.
I got to go with the OnlyFans on that one.
And of course, that cheeky comment was from our good friend Omar Hasib, who is very happy to have on the show. Very talented man. Omar, how are you doing today?
I'm fucking thrilled to be with two of my best friends talking about the sport that we love so very, very much on a beautiful, beautiful weekend to be a fan of said sport.
Hell yeah. I couldn't agree more. Between the wrestling and my experience also seeing Superman with my dad this weekend, it was a very spiritually fulfilling weekend. You know?
So you loved it, right?
I loved it.
Yeah. It was very, very good. I'll say that.
Yeah. So Joe, if you haven't seen it, definitely see Superman.
I
talked to Omar about this last night, actually. I'm not a DC guy at all. Like, other than The Dark Knight, I don't like DC anything. I'm Marvel through and through.
Yeah, well, there goes the tribalism we were just talking about, Drew.
I was just going to say that, Omar. We were just talking about tribalism. Listen, if I had to choose my favorite superhero, it would be Batman. And I dismiss Superman in a lot of ways because I think he's cheap because, like, he has all the powers that are possible and everything. But this story had a lot of depth to it. It was just very well executed. I thought, like, the cinematography and the colors were phenomenal. Give it a chance, man. That's all I got to say.
And I was telling Joe, he's such a hard hero to write because of those reasons that you talked about. He's like Super Cena era, like, 2008, 2009, where, like, they're not letting, he's taking out all of Nexus,
Yeah.
So it can be really uninteresting, but they did it well. James Gunn did his job.
Now, the next superhero movie I'm watching is Black Panther 3 whenever that comes out, or if they want to make a Rogue movie. I love Rogue. Or I might actually watch that the one on Disney that came out, Ironheart, is that the name of it?
I'm not going to watch any of those just out of spite to you, Joe.
Yeah. I'm a DC guy, so I don't
Superman a chance. Shame.
I'm set in my ways.
All right.
I only watch Paramount Pictures films, so.
All right. So we had a big weekend, as you know. We're going to get the WWE stuff out of the way first because, let's be honest, it just wasn't as strong as the AEW stuff, but it still had its moments. First of all, we had our Saturday night's main event. Really, what came out of Saturday night's main event was Goldberg's retirement match. It was what it was. We weren't expecting it to, set the world on fire, but he went out there. Gunther, a testament to his talent, put Goldberg through a 15-minute match, and it's he
his
lost
longest match since 2003.
Yeah, I mean that says it all right there. Like what that guy is not capable of. But coming out of this whole thing. Goldberg seems to be really upset by the way that WWE handled everything, specifically when it comes to the build to his last match, it being only a few weeks versus 6 months, something like that, whatever. And then also, he got cut off during his retirement speech too, probably due to NBC time restrictions, but is what it is. I guess he did heap praise on Gunther. had a misunderstanding about that before. I was kind of upset that he would dare even question Gunther's ability, but that doesn't seem to be the case, at least, so I can cool my jets a little bit. Anyway, what are your guys' thoughts on Goldberg, his retirement, his legacy, just like who he is? I want to hear it.
I was disappointed that his last match wasn't against Hugh Morris. I like things to come full circle. So first match versus last. No, I actually took to I'm not going to call it X. I refuse to Twitter about this. Shameless plug for @Dreschlaw, DRESCHLAW. I took to Twitter about this because I don't think that I agree with him. WWE did him wrong. I think AEW showed us a masterclass of how to do a retirement tour. And I'm not saying every old wrestler who's still around gets a retirement tour, but when you tell the story of wrestling, Goldberg needs to be brought up. And if you fit that criteria, I think you deserve to be called a legend and to get a farewell tour in some regards. It doesn't have to be a year-long thing, but more than just maybe a match and your retirement speech cut off. I mean, they could have, if they don't think he could hold it for a singles match, they could have teamed him up with a younger type talent. And even if he didn't want to do a tag match with that talent, he could still balance off that younger talent to prop him up a little bit, like they did with Sting and Darby, and give him a little time to shine, give him his, moment to ride off into the sun and say, thanks for what you did. You were a pop culture icon, but see you later. I don't think they did him justice. And a lot of people thought he was, going at Gunther, but I don't see that either. I think it was just, he kind of, his whole posture was just like, it is what it is. He
complimented Gunther. He said that he was very happy to be in the ring with him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And anyone who's expecting a 5-star, Iron Man 60-minute match, you went in with the wrong.
Expecting that.
Yeah, you went in with the wrong. But if you did, you went in with the wrong thing. Like, it is what it was. It was a spectacle, but it could have been a better spectacle.
Yeah. Omar, what do you think?
Hey, so Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, pretty big guy in wrestling. Has he been given the title in his last couple runs? I think he had a title run in like 2011, 2010. Goldberg has been fed the Fiend and Kevin Owens titles. Like, there's no pity that I have for this man and his so-called like mistreatment when he has been getting treatment that is wildly out of balance with how they've treated other wrestlers his age, other wrestlers that arguably could actually go better now or in the past. Like, it's just insane to me to complain about treatment when he's gotten amazing treatment. And I will say another thing. Would he have been given more time to talk if this was on the USA Network for an episode of SmackDown? With Netflix, they probably maybe wouldn't have cut him off on Netflix because they control runtime a little better there. But no, his time was cut off on primetime NBC on a Saturday, like where he was given the main event spot. I really think, like, woe on to me is a little crazy. I do want to say I disagree with both of you guys about Gunther. Like, yeah, he's got respect for Gunther, but my issue was not like was he ragging on Gunther? No, he, as he usually does, kind of throws shade and minimizes the sport of professional wrestling just by his talk. Because this is obviously the same guy who, when criticized for his way he mule kicked Bret Hart, said, if I was trying to hurt him, I would have killed him, which is the best rebuttal. But no, he goes and I quote, Goldberg apologized to Gunther for laughing at his chops during the Saturday night main event match. I thought it was going to hurt more. That's all. I really apologize. I didn't mean to downplay his move. It just caught me off guard, and I completely.
He literally downplayed it in that quote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like there's just certain things that make it really difficult for me to like feel pity about his time getting cut off. And it's like, did society miss out on some bold statement that he was going to say? Or was he going to say, like, who's next? AARP. Like, I really don't feel like I missed out on anything significant. And I will just finish with a quote from Peter Rosenberg, who I don't often quote, but I would say, do you know how many people better than Goldberg wish their send-off was that we wish them the best in their future endeavors? You should be thanking your lucky stars for the money you've made and the appreciation you've gotten, which many don't even feel is fully deserved.
I mean, couldn't have said it better. And you know, while I do see where Joe's coming from. Did objectively, like in a vacuum, did they do a good job on a retirement send off for Goldberg or really anyone in that position? No, not really. And comparatively, AEW does do a better job. But is the person really worth that kind of effort, given everything that he's been given? As Omar said, him beating the Fiend, beating Kevin Owens for the title, just having this fucking run that is so not for somebody his age. Somebody actually tweeted that Goldberg wrestling right now in this era is the equivalent of if superstar Billy Graham wrestled in the year 2000. Just like sit back and think about that. You know,
they gave Kurt Angle to Corbin Barron.
Yeah, to Baron Corbin, exactly.
Kurt freaking Angle.
Yeah, but the thing is, like Goldberg's whole mystique is that he is this unbeatable force. So like you can't have him just come in and job to a younger talent and put that younger talent over, which I know you should do.
Father Time is undefeated.
Well, I know, but that's his whole thing. He was still able to go to an extent. It's like, you know, even with the Undertaker, he was still, you know, having the streak, even though you didn't really believe it. But
still
that
eventually
was the mystique.
ended.
I know it eventually ended, and this ended for Goldberg. I mean, he's done.
Yeah.
But again, like, when you think of the history of wrestling, there are some better wrestlers technically, you know, bell-to-bell wrestlers who are better than him. But none of them are the pop culture icon that Goldberg was. When you tell the story of professional wrestling, Goldberg is one of those names. He sold shirts everywhere. He was on TV. He was recognizable. Yes, there are some wrestlers who were better on the mat, but if you put them in a lineup, people wouldn't be able to say, oh yeah, I remember him in the 90s. They were a wrestler. Goldberg was. So the fact that you had the opportunity to celebrate him and say, here's the passing of this generation that he was one of the faces of, you should have done. And could Stone Cold Steve Austin still go? I would say you do the same thing for him. The Rock, you know, when it's time for him to hang it up, because he still does some stuff, do the same for him. But, you know,
do the same for them. You can't even put them on the same level. What like is like Goldberg is just a bald Ultimate Warrior. And would you argue that Kurt Angle is less pop culture or less known or less legendary than Goldberg?
Other than the meme they have? Product. Yes.
No way.
He's
an Olympic gold medalist.
It doesn't matter.
With a broken freaking neck.
People didn't. If you showed a picture of people who grew up or were alive in the late '90s and showed a picture of Kurt Angle, picture Goldberg, I bet you'd be able to pick out Goldberg.
I bet you people would pick him thinking he's Stone Cold.
Exactly. They're gonna say that the Bill Goldberg picture is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, that's what happens when you copy and paste the look.
I don't know, guys. I mean, as the
and Joe, what else would you? So I think my question to both of you is does this all come down to time running out on his retirement speech? Like, are we having this conversation because he would be having this conversation of complaining about the treatment, even if the mic didn't get cut off. His wish was that they would announce this match back in freaking January, prior to Mania.
No, I think they should have given him.
He's delusional. He has no idea how the business works. That now, then, or forever.
I think they should have given him a few more interviews as a lead up to it, and I think they should have let him finish his thing. I don't even really care about the match. If you care about the match and all that, but like I would have had it been like have him have some promos, do a lot of mic work. He's building it up with Gunther. He loses to Gunther. He gets to do a farewell speech. You could have done one match, but just more build up to it, more opportunity for him to, you know, build this up as the penultimate Goldberg end of his career. Like you could have done that. Even.
So I will say one thing, Joe. Like, regardless of what we think about him or how little I give a fuck about listening to him on the mic ever, I will say that the issue with WWE, one of the issues right now that they're having is that they have like 3-week build-ups before their premium live events. So like all these feuds only have 3 weeks. So it was like kind of like the nature of the beast for it to go from Crown Jewel to this like that quickly. But I don't think society missed anything about hearing Bill Goldberg saying, "You're next." And I don't know what'll happen if I win the title in my retirement match. Great question.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Joe can have his opinion. At the end of the day, it's like, this is a guy I didn't really care about, a wrestler I really respect, put him through like a respectable match for someone his age, and that's that. But we're talking about it now because he complained, as you know.
Yep.
So,
Yep. You know who else wishes they had a better send off?
who?
Bret the Hitman Hart, but I wonder why he didn't.
Yeah, but you would never be able to get through his speech anyway because he would just ramble. You ever hear the guy talk?
Yeah, Strokes will do that.
I would rather listen to him talk than fucking Goldberg talk about muscle cars and playing football in his glory days. Fucking loser.
Any day.
Anyway, we also had Evolution that happened this past weekend. Now, did both of you guys watch the whole show?
I did
No.
not.
You didn't watch it at all, Joe?
I mean, you know, I am very strict. I don't watch
you hate
WWE unless it's Royal Rumble or WrestleMania.
But when all the women are involved, you're like, oh, absolutely not.
No, I'll follow on social media. I'm just not a fan of the product for a while now.
Like the women wrestlers or all of them?
Just all of it. I think it's too.
Okay, that's good.
It's too cookie cutter. It's too corporate. It's not. I don't know. There's no personality to it. It's just the same thing. Everyone looks the same. Everyone has the same entrance. It feels like it's just the same thing, rinse and repeat. And then once it gets close to WrestleMania, everyone's going to be pointing at the WrestleMania banner. Then this is going to happen. And at Royal Rumble, someone's going to do a handstand and their feet aren't going to touch the ground. And it's just the same thing every year.
Same beats.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I need more storyline. I need more build up. I need more creativity.
Well, I mean, coming out of this show, I think we did get a match of the year candidate, and it was Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. And I think Io Sky proved that she's absolutely in the conversation of not even best female wrestler in the world, maybe best wrestler in the world. In the conversation. I'm not saying...
No, that's Max Caster.
He's the best wrestler alive, not in the world. But
yeah, Druck, I gotta agree with that, Steven. This was the only match that I caught in its entirety from that event, and get it out of the way. I got to attend All in person, so I was in such a high and witnessed such an incredibly high quality level of wrestling for hours on the day before this. And the little bit that I did catch a Saturday Night Main Event was orange juice after you brush your teeth compared to what I witnessed there. So I was not going in giving those two women a chance. Really, you know what I'm saying? I had kind of my nose up at them, which I love both of them and respect their talent. So I would never do that had I not just been at All In the day before. But very quickly I was like, oh no, all right, remember who the fuck you're watching. They killed it. It's such a good match.
Yeah.
Such a good match. And it was one of those is that a schmoz finish? Is the finish weak in it? No. It doesn't diminish any of it. Those fucking two killed it. Such a good match.
Couldn't agree more. I love the outside spots that they did too.
Yes. It was so awesome. The ref goes down, and instead of it being about who's going to be cheap about this, or who's not going to be cheap about this, or who's going to go dirty, no, they just were no, we're going to beat the shit out of each other outside the ring. Can I just make a point that I was thinking about the second the ref went down? Got a question. What's the female wrestling equivalent of the low blow? Do they do low blows? Because in another situation, any other male wrestler would just low blow the second the referee goes down and then take advantage of that.
I mean, hey,
is there a female? Yeah, but do they utilize it? I don't think. Is there something that they use as a trope in the same way? Because I don't think the. I'm not going to say
we've never seen that happen before, but I have done it in the new 2K game. I have low blow to woman.
And
it does render very incapacitated.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah.
So, would you get DQ'd for it?
You got to do it behind the referee's back, but yes.
Yeah, I would take that to court.
I was
why is that a low blow here? What am I being disqualified for?
I always liked an NWO, WCW NWO World Tour and Revenge when it would do the bell when you would low blow someone. That was
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
as a second and third grade or fourth grade or whatever, I thought that was hilarious.
I bet you were a terror on the playground.
Dude,
I think I said that to
I still
Joe.
play those games once in a while. I love N64, especially N64. Those type of wrestling games.
Yeah. Other notable things that happened from this show that I just want to mention too. Naomi, of course, cashed in Money in the Bank from this match.
Which I'm happy that Naomi is the champion. Don't get me wrong about that. Like, I'm very happy about that. But how are you going to have her lose in the middle of the card and then come out and be the champion? I think you make her win and then be the champion. Like, because it's just weird booking. It's up and down.
Joseph.
But did she lose any luster? Did they manage to enhance both her and Jade in the same night? It was a win-win.
And can I also say that the very night that Seth Rollins cashed in the Money in the Bank at WrestleMania, he lost earlier that night to Randy Orton.
In glorious fashion.
Yeah, with the huge RKO.
Yes.
Not a fan.
But no, I don't know. So like her character work right now is at a level that if she continues it, then she's giving Tony Stark a run for her money in terms of somebody who's just firing on all cylinders from a character perspective and in the ring. Like she is so good right now.
I'm enjoying it. I'm not seeing it like. I feel like it's not at its peak yet. Still.
No, it's building. It's building, man.
It's building, and it might get to that level. You're right, but
I really think because just like with Toni Storm, she's invested so much creatively in her wardrobe. Like the caution, everything being incorporated with caution tape is genius, and she's doing it differently each and every single week, and you could just see her own flair with it. And her character work on social media, she's in the zone, dude, and it's just gonna get better. But I also just like her mic work is like a testament to this era of WWE's positive things where like, dude, she's allowed to speak like how she would speak. Like you don't hear Vince McMahon's voice in everyone's promos anymore. And that's something I'm grateful for.
Nobody has said suffering succotash in a really long time.
Yeah. I'm just proud she's the first women's champion from Planet Funk. So
shut the fuck up, Joe.
You remember that? Remember that original
game? She was one of the Funkadactyls with that.
Somebody called
Iris.
Yeah.
So another thing from that show that happened, Druck, was one of the greatest roll-ups I've ever witnessed in.
Oh yeah, from Becky Lynch.
Unbelievable! Like I've never seen a roll-up look more effective than a freaking finisher before. It was so smooth. Joe, if you haven't seen it, Google it.
It was a backslide. Yeah.
Yeah. It was amazingly crisp. That was so well executed. It was beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And that match was very, very solid. And I like all three of those women working together. And I've really been enjoying Becky Lynch since she's come back. I like that she's not really in the main event scene right now and is just being a bit selfless and putting over Lyra while at the same time just like adding this new layer to her character that I'm really enjoying. And I feel like
I'm so happy that we have an intercontinental title for them.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's
there's not this like congestion with the world title.
Mm-hmm.
But Bailey, dude, is just an afterthought creatively for these guys. Like, it's so sad to see her squandered so obviously.
And I don't want it to be that way either, because like I'm 100% a Bailey guy. Like since NXT, I want to see her just be the top woman. But it is. I mean, the focus kind of should be on Becky Lynch and Lyra, right? Just because of their history for so many years.
Yeah, I know, but like at the expense of making the other one lose their WrestleMania title match.
Yeah.
Like there's ways of doing it that don't bury your talent or expose how little like you're investing.
Because Lyra ended up beating Bailey for the #1 contender at SummerSlam this week.
Yeah.
So she's not going to be at SummerSlam. She got her WrestleMania, spot taken away from her. So I feel like that's enough fuel to the fire for her to like snap.
I get you, but I would love to see her work in another women's division that had a beautiful spotlight shined on it this weekend.
Damn. Oh my god.
TNA, I agree.
Just a couple more things before we cut over to the big star of the show, which is AEW.
Dude, come on, segue. That was a beautiful segue.
It was a beautiful segue, but I do want to just mention that Trish did a great job in her match, and we finally got like the real Mariah May in WWE with her turning on Jordan Grace. So I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't waste time with that.
Me too, because let's be honest, Mariah May, one of the best women's heel runs of all time, and really, it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
All right, so we are talking about AEW All In Texas, and of course,
wait, hold on. Did you watch any of the Great American Bash?
Not really. We had it on the second TV when we were watching All In, but we would turn to it every now and then when nothing was happening on All In, which was rare.
Yeah, I think the most notable thing was the turn, from what I've seen.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, that's what I guess I mixed that up. I mixed up the Great American Bash with what happened at Evolution. I guess they were fine at Evolution. Nonetheless, we're here to talk about All In. So first of all, of course, Omar, you attended this show. How about you just go in and tell us what your experience was like?
So I attended Raw this year in Dallas and SmackDown in Fort Worth this year. So I I was really hyped for both of those shows, and really quickly after sitting in the crowd for a little bit, I felt like this level of embarrassment for some of the people that I was sitting around. Just because WWE shows, the demographics gonna vary, right? And it's either gonna be kids, which I don't mind, and them experiencing this stuff and really being into it and kind of buying into the kayfabe. But it's the creepy old guys that really throw me off, And those are the guys who are they're there, who force their wives to go there and are saying the creepiest things to the people there. It's just there's a lot of cringe, and there's a lot of you guys, I don't know if you're really figuring out what's going on over here type of stuff. But immediately within 2 minutes of the opener, I was just it was such an amazing crowd. Not just in terms of noise and reaction, just people, and how diverse it was. And you look out into the crowd, and it's just if that's the demo I want to be associated with. Those type of people, those people who are socially conscious, excited. And I think, to give an aside, at one point during the women's gauntlet match, someone's like, women's wrestling, and they automatically corrected to, this is wrestling. So yeah, I guess in a nutshell, it was miles beyond anything that I witnessed from the other two shows, which isn't a fair comparison for a TV show to compare to the biggest show of the year. But I think it's more of a testament just to AEW, because when I attended Collision last summer, I also left with the same feeling that I left that week. Just an amazing, amazing crowd with the highest level of professional wrestling that you really can see in front of you.
Yeah.
I mean, right before I got on the pod, I was watching this video of a diehard WWE fan who actually watched All In, and he's like, what have I been missing? This is even their worst match was better than the best WWE match, and it was this mind blowing moment. So
that shit looks so fake though, Joe.
Yeah. So I mean, it was AEW is just the far superior product. I'm sorry, and I say that as someone who owns minimal stock in WWE. AEW is the better product.
Yeah, so I was really nervous going to the show because of the, AEW notoriously overbooks shows, especially their big pay-per-views, and the card, it didn't seem as wildly overblown as All In London did the first time around, and things didn't look as big of an ask, but I was still nervous. Dude, am I gonna be able to sit through all of this, and with my full attention span. Dude, it was booked to perfection in terms of being there in person and the way it was paced. It was just such a pleasure to watch, and
It
all the
didn't
beats.
feel like a long
Yeah,
show.
no, dude,
Was.
no. And like, especially I think at the point that the at the point that Omega Okada started, I think it was like the 4 hour mark of the show. No, 3 hour mark. And so it was like, oh wow, it just moved so much quicker, and I didn't feel it at all. I was really shocked by the
Yeah.
timing, and yeah, man, it was like a beautifully done stage that really matched the scale of the event. Um, it was just the setup was just perfect. But again, another complaint, and I complained to you guys about this after Collision last year. The merch table sucks for AEW.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Dude, it's one thing for Collision, but you're really gonna do this at All In and come down to like 5 wrestlers, not one freaking Swerve shirt.
What?
Like, yes, dude. The only thing they had for Swerve was the freaking like the posters, like the $30 posters.
Mm.
It's like, what are you doing? I can off the top of my head, I want to say there was a timeless Tony Storm shirt. There were 2 or 3 variations of like the all-in jersey, which they do for each event,
Yeah.
with the number being the year,
Hmm.
and then maybe a Hangman shirt, but like nothing, dude. It's just you're taking money out of your own pockets.
I know. Listen, you can make a lot of money on merch. I mean, me and my wife went to 2 concerts at MetLife in like March, I want to say, maybe May, and like the amount of foot traffic going by the merch table and the amount of lines they had was ridiculous.
Hmm.
Like, why would you not have just the most amount of merch you can, and then if you don't sell it, you bring it to the next show?
Yeah, but it's not just that, man. It's like for me, if there was stuff there, like the likelihood of me buying stuff online versus buying it there, like there's a ton I would have bought had it been there.
Yeah,
Like I'm not talking even like to not have a Swerve shirt is like audacious, but let's have at least like I mean like Adam Cole's group, the Paragon or whatever, same name as my company. I would have loved to have bought a couple of those shirts and like passed them around work. Like that would have been hilarious, you know. But like now like to order online is just like this extra level of effort that I'm like, come on, guys. Like
Yeah.
I was there.
All right. Well, merchandise could have been better. I mean,
Other
it
than
comes to
that,
time. Remember when WWE would be in Albany? They'd have finally The Rock has come back to Albany T-shirts that'd be out, and it was slim pickings back then. But I digress. Let's talk about first 0 Hour. I'm going to be honest. I didn't watch any of 0 Hour, but was there any 0 Hour matches that really stuck out to you guys? FTR versus the Outrunners. I imagine that was pretty good.
I missed it because, to be honest with you, I'm so used to shows being at night that I forgot that it was a midday show, which, by the way, I loved because it could be done and I still had my night to do other things.
Mm-hmm.
But I did miss 0 Hour. But I did like how they brought in, the Texas vibe. I do like how AEW plays up, what town they're in sometimes. And maybe someone who you don't think is deserving wins the belt, but they do it for the pop and that home cooking, and I like that. That's something I think is missed in a lot of wrestling. Like you get that extra boost in the crowd, that extra cheer because it's the hometown person. So I liked how everything was like, if you're from Texas, you're winning tonight because it got an extra bump.
Yeah.
And so I say that because the Sons of Texas.
0
Sorry,
Hour.
I should have said that.
Well, yeah,
no,
the Sons of Texas that won the opening match. That set the tone.
Yeah, with the Von Erichs
for the rest of the show. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Did the Von Erichs get a big reaction, Omar?
When they were announced, yes, but when they put their name on the screen when they were first coming out, people didn't know who the fuck they were. But because most people in Texas can't read. But once they said their name, then they got a massive pop.
Yeah. How was the reception for Big Boom AJ?
It was respectful. I'll say that much. Like, it was more than I expected, but I think
Dude,
people were just being kind at that point. But like it was the closest to like rude that I saw the crowd.
yeah. Um, I thought I didn't even see the match, but I did see Big Justice get pie faced by Trent, and that was one of the highlights of my weekend.
Yeah, no, it was. I couldn't really see everything from where I was sitting when that happened.
Yeah,
Um, but I was just at that point, dude, I was just hyped for the show, and just really hoping for that to go quickly, and it did, thankfully. But FTR didn't. That the match wasn't close to the collision match, and
okay,
I
that's
don't think it
actually
should
what I
have.
wanted to know because I did see the collision
Yeah,
match and it was really, really good.
yeah, and it was, and I think like I, I think by design it wasn't to that level because like why the fuck go out of your way when you're like not in the card per se to like try to like hit that level. And then also like even if it's not even like a petty thing, it's like why make it tougher for the tag matches following you on the main card? Like it's like a not a team player thing for a match that's pretty pointless. Like they got everything they got needed to get across about the storyline done in the collision match. But that's just I digress. Allegory Jones over here.
It's all good, my man. Nice opening contest here, AEW World Trios Championships. Ops, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Shibata won over the Death Riders, Claudio Wheeler, and Gabe Kidd. Um, Obviously, they got the last laugh. That is the Death Riders, and very violent injury angle here with steel chair around Samoa Joe's neck and taking him out of commission for the main event to possibly be reinforcements for Hangman. What did you guys think of this opening match?
I caught the end. So like I turned it on and it was the end of the match, unfortunately. But I did see the injury, and I think that was well played because again, throughout the night when I was thinking about the final match, I was like, oh, if it becomes a numbers game, Samoa Joe's out. So I like how even the energy from what I was getting from watching the highlights and from just the crowd at the end of the match, what I saw, it was a good start to the show and it built in something to think about for the rest of the show. And I like that when they have you thinking throughout the show about something beyond just the match you're watching. That's good wrestling to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Wait, did Hobbs and them come out at the end?
Did what?
Or did Hobbs come out at the end, or is like it wasn't just Samoa Joe that didn't come out? Like everyone else forgave.
Hobbs didn't
Forgave
come.
him.
I don't think Hobbs did come out at the end. No.
Yeah, he's probably sitting and catering with Swerve debating it.
Yeah, but like I feel like taking out Samoa Joe here though definitely caused like some anxiety for the main event as far as oh no, like
yes,
if the
absolutely.
if the going gets really tough and the numbers start to overpower, Joe is one of the main guys that comes out and helps even the odds. So taking him out here, I thought was smart storyline.
And maybe Hobbs and Shibata were at the hospital with their teammates, so maybe that's why they weren't there.
Yeah, good point. Yo, so in the AEW world, what does that chair spot do? Like, what's like the consequence of that? Is that like you're out for a match, you're out for a week, you're out for a month? Like, what is the consequence of that level? Is it and where does it rate compared to the concerto?
I would say it's probably worse than the concerto because like it gives more of the appearance of you broke somebody's neck. And
So Osprey's
the
gone.
other way you just kind of smush their brain.
So Osprey's gone for a month or so.
I
don't know, man. Maybe a couple weeks.
That's my confusion, man. I don't know.
Yeah. I think I hate it as a spot. I think it doesn't look like it hurts anything. And it's almost like when you're doing like a figure four or not figure four, like a Boston Crab and the person holds their knee when clearly the Boston Crab is affecting your lower back. Like that move doesn't do anything to your neck. Like the chair is on their upper back. Mm-hmm. It does nothing. I think it's the worst spot. There's so many other ways they could make someone look like they got seriously hurt than that. I think the concerto would be worse because that could be like a concussion at least.
Yeah. kind of got a patent on the concerto, though. All right, so that led to the men's casino gauntlet match. 14 guys were in the match. I wish we had a list here of all of them, but everyone who was in it, though, it worked phenomenally together. I thought that all the spots were great. In the end, though, we had MJF winning, and yeah, this wasn't really a surprise with who won, but I thought this was an enjoyable casino gauntlet. Oh, and not to mention too, the return of Juice Robinson with a very divisive look.
Oh my God, bro. I was so thrown off by it. I felt like it was one of those videos where the dad shaves his beard or mustache for the first time in front of a kid, and like the
Yeah,
kid just kind of looks like they're gonna cry. Like that's how I felt. It was just so like it's just so clean. You know what I mean? Like it just didn't. He looked like when Elias shaved his beard. You know, like it was so. He looked exactly like Elias, to be
I
honest with you.
hate to say it, but like I feel like the first thing that I thought when I saw his new look, I was like, oh my God, he looks like when Chris Harris jumped ship to WWE ECW and became Braden Walker. Do you guys remember that?
Exactly. That's a solid call right there. And but it also just doesn't fit his character. That's like the other look is much more in line with Juice, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Um,
like Juice is
this is
supposed to
yeah,
look like the honeycomb gremlin, right?
yeah,
And if he
yeah. But
doesn't look like that, I
it
don't know
threw
who
me off.
he is. I
Yeah,
guess he's trying to be more serious now, though. That's like the promo that he cut after the match with the guns, and he's like, he's paying. He's like, no more gyrations, no more this, no more that. So maybe he's just really focused on like being a serious wrestler right now. But
which
like,
it is what it is. I don't know. My question is this related at all to, Jay White not being out there? Because now they have to have some level of like some linchpin to that group. I don't. It
yeah,
just feels like some
there's
level of
rumors
authority.
that Jay White may jump ship to WWE.
Really?
So maybe
Oh,
there's a
he
chance
he
that
was he would get treated. He was getting treated right in AEW. Well, he wasn't one of those guys that was kind of like meandering. Um,
he's
but
starting
yeah,
to catch on.
yeah, he was. It would be a shame, in my opinion. And who knows what level of investment he'd get there. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it was a solid group of guys who went out there. I think it was pretty exciting. There was a lot of confusion in terms of like when people would come out. Like, oh wait, everyone's out. Wait, there's more people to come out there. The Mystico Banditos like entries were great. Ricochet is so crisp in the ring; it's not even funny. Takeshita and him, their spot was amazing to like witness in person. That knee to the face from the corner was absolutely gorgeous,
Yeah,
and that to me is like what I've been showing non-wrestling fans pictures from All In at work. I'm like, that's the first one I show them. Actually, yeah, other than the Mott's fork spot, but like, it's
he's
just so the work is so crisp, man. I wish Brody King had a little bit more to do, uh, but other than that, I gotta say the crowd really was like deflated by MJF winning again. Like it's just like why have the match if everyone knows this man's going to win this match every single year?
I
Like it's
know.
at this point, like it's not even like the Undertaker streak. Like the Undertaker streak still like was like, well, it's just one man versus another man, unless it was like Nathan Jones and A Train, but like it's just always one on one. So like there's a chance he could have that streak, but for him to always come out on top in these gauntlets, it's just like, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, like, especially because we know what happened in the main event, it does make storyline sense that MJF won, especially because there were a lot of like really intense backstage interactions, and then they had their matches with each other between him and Hangman. So it'd be
Yep.
good to run that back for the title. I still think that there's meat on that bone, you know. Um, I also thought that maybe he was going to win out of necessity for the fact of what I thought was going to happen with the Bucks beating Swerve and Osprey, and those two in turn would not get title shots for a year,
Yep.
but that didn't turn out to be the case there.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
actually kind of like
Good call.
I like the MJF one. I just pulled it up. He's only won one other gauntlet type match. And it was a gauntlet.
Well,
last.
I think the thing in our minds that we're mixing it up with too, possibly, is the Dynamite Diamond Ring. Like he's accustomed to winning so many battle royals.
I know, but
yeah, that's what, I appreciate you trying to go down with me, Truck, but that was definitely my misunderstanding.
But
so thank you.
Right, but like it is kind of a repetitive thing that you keep seeing him win these matches.
Yeah.
It's like Money in the Bank though for AEW now, and I think that's a great role for him, especially with like the Hurt Syndicate. Is like he has this now. He has his contract for AEW Championship match, and he has the muscle behind him. And it could almost be one of those things where he starts outshining the rest of the Hurt Syndicate, almost like The Rock with the Nation kind of thing, and starts outgrowing them. And then they have eternal feuds. So there's so much that can be done with him just having this contract without actually having the match.
To be honest with you, man, I think that the turn out of the Hurt Syndicate is going to happen sooner than you think. And I think it's going to come from, MJF getting a little bit too big for his britches during this feud with Hangman, and he pisses off Bobby, and Bobby costs him.
I agree.
Yeah.
All
right, to take the mood down a little bit, next we had Adam Cole. He got on the microphone and spilled his heart out. I can't really justify what this was like as much as Omar can. So, Omar, what was it like in that arena when Adam Cole announced that he's going to be away for a while and the question of retirement is something that he doesn't want to address, but certainly seems like something he will address down the
line? So to be brutally honest, right around, they showed a graphic of the four-way before he walked out. And so the crowd just went into a mild uproar of like, what the fuck? He's injured again? And so even me, like, dude, I was standing up for the entire event at that point. The second that he walked out, I sat down and like used that as a breaker because I'm just not invested in him. Really. And like, I even made the remark to the guy next to me. I was like, dude, like, why should I make the effort to like stand up for this guy's promo right now where he doesn't make the effort to go to the gym? So it was just like assholeish and dismissive. And a lot of other people like you in the crowd were just like, is he, he's injured again. He's so fragile, this and that. Within like 2 seconds of him talking and hearing his voice, even before he like said like it could be retirement level type of stuff, like the you could hear a pin drop in that arena. People just like there was a gasp and then quietness, and then you just heard people sobbing in certain parts. Like it was very, very emotional. And like the second that I heard his voice break, dude, I'm standing up and listening, And it wasn't a comfortable like atmosphere at all. It was very like because he said sickness too, or like it wasn't. It was very vague, and it had very like Roman Reigns cancer announcement.
That's certainly like what I was thinking too, and I was very concerned about it. And even John, who's like the most adamant Adam Cole hater, he needs to be in the fucking gym. Like, why doesn't he just eat protein? Kind of guy towards him. Instantly became sympathetic because you could tell that it was just so serious. I did hear though that at least whatever source it was that this may be concussion related. It's not like he has a terminal illness or anything like that. So thank God that he doesn't have a terminal.
Yeah, that's why SRS is reporting. So I feel like it's pretty reliable.
I heard it was possibly concussions and that like he was contemplating actually retiring, and everyone was kind of like, whoa, hold your horses. Let's, they said cooler heads prevailed. So I think it must be like concussion based. And he was probably like, all right, this is it. I got to retire. And everyone's like, well, let's see. Almost like, with like Christian, he was able to come back down the road. Yeah. So they're kind of like, hang on.
Right. My heart goes out to him. And, I thought I really started to feel it when, Roddy and Kyle embraced him in the ring, and that was just, so sad. And you can tell that they have just such a brotherhood with each other, and that really got me. And those are just
bro,
three
Kyle
dudes
was
that I
baller.
have so much respect for.
Can I say that Adam Cole's run in AEW, and I don't remember the full run of this comparison because I was too young, but almost like Brian Pillman with WWF, because everyone really highly anticipated it. He was jumping ships from the competitor. Everyone was excited, and he just couldn't stay healthy. We didn't get the full extent of their ability. And of course, Brian Pillman unfortunately passed away, but it feels like we never get the full Adam Cole that we were hoping for. There's always something.
So essentially, you're wishing death upon Adam Cole. Is what I just thought.
I don't hate that comparison. I lucky enough we were able to have Adam Cole for more than just 1 year, unlike with Brian Pillman. But yeah,
Did we though, Truck? Like cumulatively, did we?
I know. Yeah.
So stop and go.
Right about that. Yeah, maybe we didn't. But did we then we? But by that thought, then we didn't get a full year of Brian Pillman. Then, like he was on crutches a lot of the time too.
He was in crutches. Then when he was supposed to be better, he hurt his ankle again. So they had to do. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. It's like every time it's like, all right, here he comes, he's coming back. It's like, oh no, hurt again.
Right. And I thought that him being in the TNT title picture and just it seemed like he was wrestling in the 6-man tags too, and I thought that would have been really great for his longevity if they just kept those three together as a trio and just had awesome trios matches against other teams. It's easy to just kind of look in hindsight and be like, well, they shouldn't have done this with him, they shouldn't have done that. But bottom line, we don't like seeing this happen to wrestlers. Especially
put some headgear on him. They gotta put some judo martial arts headgear on him, almost like the Josh Alexander headgear, but protect his head.
Right. So of course, we had the TNT Championship for a 4-way match. Instead, Kyle Fletcher, Daniel Garcia, Sammy Guevara, and Dustin Rhodes wrestled, and big fucking surprise finish here. Dustin Rhodes, new TNT champion. I think that, initially a lot of us were kind of sour on it, except Joe. Joe was very tried and true the entire time. But yeah, this is something.
I wasn't sour,
This is something of a lifetime achievement award, I feel, for his AEW career. And I think that this is a good notch on Dustin's belt. But I don't necessarily want to see this be a long reign, because I think that more young talent.
Yeah, I don't think it would be, but I do think something worth pointing out is the style of the finish. He didn't knock someone out and pin them. It was perfectly executed to be a shock. Everyone in the arena was shocked at how it finished because it looked naturally like a stolen win. It was executed well. It wasn't like they made him look dominant, and I don't think his title reign would look any different, where if it's even going to be a reign. But it was a harmless thing, really, those. It didn't kill any of the other guys' momentum. It was I don't think any of us would have put money that the other guys were definitely going to win. Maybe Kyle Fletcher.
I thought,
dude, the pop was amazing, and dude, we don't have to worry about Kyle Fletcher. Nobody, dude, the amount of men in that arena who had their girlfriends with them that felt insecure the second that guy walked out. He is the most over, and it was the same thing at Collision too, dude. There were girls who bought tickets, I'm certain, just to see him. He is so over with women, dude.
Yeah, I totally believe that. I mean, he's got a baddie with him too, Sky Blue, and
no, I'm sorry.
No, they're together.
Shout out to Hot Mulligan, who just put out his new theme. Also, Hot Mulligan's one of my favorite emo bands out there. Go check them out if you haven't. But they put out a banger for Kyle Fletcher, And
Yeah, well, if anyone's gonna need emo music now, it's me.
What'd you say?
If anyone's gonna need some good emo music now, it's me.
Oh yeah. Okay.
With the Sky Blue news you just hit me with.
Oh yeah, that she's with Kyle Fletcher. I'm sorry, bud.
Yeah,
You know, you had your shot.
I did. I thought I had a moment.
The only bad thing is if you look at his name too quickly, Kyle Fletcher, the protostar, I thought it said the prostate. But no, I mean, I'm glad that Dustin won just because, you know, I'm the nostalgic one of our group. I like when the wrestlers that I watched as a kid win, and you know, he's putting in the time. What was that? 3 matches he did in 24 hours. He can still go for his age, and we know that a lot of wrestlers slow down, and he can still go.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a transitional champion, which is fine. So that way, if he loses it tonight, next week, month from now, whatever, no one's, you know, it's no harm to him. He's still going to put on, you know, he's a good glue guy. I think it was well deserved because he's put in his time and helped younger wrestlers and put people over. It was nostalgic. And, you know, I'm not one of those people who says just because you're a young wrestler, you deserve to be put over and get the belt. Sometimes it's okay to put it on someone older. And even if they go over a younger guy, I mean, it happens. You know, he's a name that has been around, which means he's a good wrestler. So if a younger guy loses to him just because he's old doesn't mean that that younger guy didn't get rubbed. He lost to one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
But you had 3 like rising stars, and him winning, it was just like for the diversity of finishes in that entire event, it was perfect. Like, and there wasn't one person that groaned during that match that I could hear. At least people were going crazy and immediate standing ovation. Like there was a gasp, like process, and then standing ovation right away. So well deserved.
If Sammy won, people would have been upset. And you know, like I said, the prostate will be fine. He's like you said, Omar, he's over. And Daniel Garcia, you know, whatever. He's got Matt Menard.
Bro, people are checked out on Sammy. No one cared. It was sad.
It's not.
He had a beautiful entrance though, but just no one cared.
All right, and then next we had phenomenal tag team match. Swerve and Ospreay beat the Young Bucks. This was a huge surprise. This was so fucking I was on the edge of my seat this match. This was so damn good. I loved the house call hidden blade combo to win the match. That is just like full death when I see that move. Like there's no way anyone's getting up from it. And yeah, I was not expecting this to happen. I didn't see the Young Bucks losing their EVP titles. And yeah.
I have to say the highlight of the whole night for me was Chaka Khan. Was the fact that Swerve came out to an like just a sung version of Ain't Nobody.
Yep. And
that's
Joe, you know,
home,
that's what he used to come out to.
Yeah, when my
wife
but
Joe, do you know who's singing that? Do you know who was singing that?
What's her name? JoJo? Whatever.
Bray's wife. Bray's wife, rest in peace. So it was like just to see her was like surreal, like just a beautiful moment. And I don't know, man, that was the greatest match of the evening, in my opinion. And it's obviously the best match I've gotten to see in person. Yeah. It was truly a pleasure to witness. Just unbelievable. Like the false finishes in that match had people like walking around, like pacing around. Like it was just like there was certainty that the Bucks were going to win at some point, and they didn't. Certainty that they were going to Swerve and Ospreay were going to get to the pin, and they didn't. It was just like it was just beautiful, and like the way that they were synced up with each other. It was some of the crispest offense, and especially for you guys to do that with 4 people and not just one-on-one. It was just absolute art, like unreal.
Yeah. I want to watch the match again, just you talking about it. You know?
And I loved how Ospreay and Swerve's gear matched. I love Ospreay's look in gear. Like that's one of my favorite things of any show is like how's he gonna his fit and how's he gonna match up. And I also love Swerve's pay-per-view entrances. I think every single one, like that's the highlight. And then you get to his wrestling and it's another show. It's just good all around. I mean, WWE dropped the ball letting him go. And I remember Druck, we went to a show at the Albany Cap Center. It was like an NXT house show.
Yeah.
And you're like, look at this guy Swerve. I remember he like got on the ring to like during his got on the corner in the turnbuckle during his entrance, and you like pointed him out. And you're like, watch this guy. You're gonna like him. And I didn't think anything of it, and I didn't really watch him when he was doing anything with NXT. But since he's been with AEW, he's become my favorite. And you were right. He's just they dropped the ball with him. He's on another level.
So good. He's so good. And
yeah, Joe, do you really think that they're gonna push a black man?
I know.
You know what's so crazy about him getting released from WWE too? HBK had a fit when that happened because he had said if there was anyone that's the closest to him that was in WWE NXT, it was Swerve. You know, that says everything.
Yeah, I remember that.
Proving.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that makes sense. My favorite was always HBK. Now my favorite's Swerve. I mean, but he's just got that aura. He's just got that drip. He's got everything. I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, and also the pairing with Nana is just perfection. I think one of the loudest like boos or the biggest heat that was from that evening was when Nana got hit.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I had to be held back. Like it was wild. The atmosphere was wild. But again, there's like a certain spot in the middle of the match where all four of them are just going back and forth, taking each other out nonstop. And then when they just all are flatlined at the end of it. And like that's been the footage that AEW's been running with in terms of what they've been putting on social media. And it's some of the crispest offense I've ever seen. Like it is such a testament to those guys, and they absolutely killed it. And to be the best match on the card, in my opinion, does anyone else feel that way? Or
I think so. Yeah, I do. Best match bell to bell for sure.
I mean, the stakes were the higher on the main event. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Yeah.
But
like,
in terms of just like going blind, show someone a match, that's poetry.
Yeah, 100%, man. It shows you the evolution of the business right there.
Yep.
All right, and then we have the women's.
Go ahead.
Women's Casino Gauntlet. I think I'm echoing actually. Someone have their speaker on or something. It's coming from Omar's side. All right, so starts off with Chris Statlander and Megan Bayne. We got some surprise moments from Tekla and Julia. I'm a huge fan of Tekla. What do you guys think of Tekla?
I like Tekla. I've been watching her. I like Tekla.
What do you think?
I didn't know she was. She's Austrian.
Yeah, dude, she's very over. I'm still pretty unfamiliar with her. Only seen her on TV a couple times, but she's super over, and people really like her. And her crowd work is great. Like I don't know if it comes off on TV, but she can project her voice like really, really well. So she has people like breaking in the audience throughout her matches. She's really, really good.
Yeah,
I was impressed. Yeah,
I'm impressed with her every time she's in the ring. We also had Suri making her AEW debut. She was very impressive with her kicks. Any thoughts on her?
Yeah, it was good.
They just announced her signing, right? Like no one was expecting her to be there. So there was a lot of unfamiliarity, it seemed, in the audience when not like a very loud reaction whatsoever. So everyone, including myself, seemed to be just absorbing her for the first time.
And I wouldn't have been surprised if nobody knew who Alex Windsor was either. She did recently sign with AEW. She's been a wrestler in the UK for a really long time, and she also happens to be the wife of Will Ospreay. But I thought she had a pretty good showing for herself.
Really?
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's good for him.
Wife, yeah.
Yeah, less trips for him. But yeah, Sheree and Mina had a couple great spots together. And one of the funniest moments of the night was somebody basically was like a New Japan or something, like started chanting when they were like facing off with each other. And I
Mhm.
forgot, was it Stardom or where did they?
They're in Stardom, yeah.
Yeah, so somebody just turned around from like 5 rows ahead of them and just was like, "Excuse me, you mean Stardom?" And like everyone just started dying of laughter, and like he looked disgusted with that guy.
That is so funny. Oh my god, nerds. Jesus
So,
Christ.
so real quick, I just checked that up. So Alex Windsor is married to Will Ospreay, but she was previously married to Ryan Smile, also a professional wrestler and a close
So
friend of Ospreay.
that's okay. So I can explain that whole thing. All
Yeah.
right. And I didn't know we were going to bring this up today, but Ryan Smile committed suicide. And after that happened, a relationship developed with Osprey and Alex Windsor. So that's really how that all came to be. And it's a grim.
Any other shade you'd like to throw at them, Joe? Jesus.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Ryan Smile was a great wrestler too. If you guys ever want to check out his stuff. But at the end of the day, this match, I feel like the absolute right person won this. Way overdue. We got an O face from Athena dropping Shirakawa, and she gets the pin. We got Athena as the #1 contender. A guaranteed women's championship match. Long overdue. She's been killing it in Ring of Honor for way too long. I think that her and Toni Storm are going to make magic together.
Yeah, I know. I think it's been long overdue. I loved her when she was on NXT, and she's been doing great work in Ring of Honor. It's time to call her up, and it got the over because she's from Garland, Texas. It does suck that she beat Mina. I love Mina, but it is what it is. It was a good match, and we got a lot of everything. We also had Willow was there. I love Willow. I mean, even they're starting to bring Tay Mello back, which has been nice. I mean, that was a good match. The only thing I complained was I'm just not a Julia Hart fan. If they left her out, I think it would have been A+. So I'll give it an A.
Omar, what do you think?
Willow's energy is so contagious on TV, and it's even more like effervescent in person. Um, Mina also like someone I'm still getting used to, but her energy is also super contagious, and it projects in an arena like that. I think Athena's reaction in the stadium would have been just as loud anywhere else in the country. I really do. I don't think the hometown pop, even when they announced her where she was from during her when she was running down, there was no like audible increase in cheers when they mentioned Texas. Like she's already super over. Like the
Yeah.
second her name popped up, the volume was loud. Maybe the biggest pop of that match. Um, so
It's
I
just,
really do think like it's a testament to her. I don't want to minimize it by saying it was a hometown thing.
yeah.
She deserved it, and it would have probably happened anywhere else in the world. Uh, but bro, we're not going to talk about Megan Bain. Just unreal, like a freaking Amazon.
Yeah.
Can I also state, and this is just like an aside, because as we're talking, I am looking up a lot of people on Wikipedia, just their like personal stuff. There was a lot of women wrestlers there who could speak more than one language too. Like lots of smart, and learning different languages is tough, but like Queen Aminata alone can speak 4 languages. Tekla can speak multiple languages.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of Tay Mello can speak too. It looks like Thunder Rosa can speak too. It looks like. I mean, a lot of smart wrestlers in this match too.
Mm-hmm. And that's probably why it was just such a well booked and cooperated match with all these women. They all kicked ass. And yes, I absolutely love Megan Bain. I've sang her praises on here multiple times. And one of the greatest wonders of the world is how does Joey Janela get both Penelope Ford and Megan Bain in his lifetime?
He has to sell weed. I mean, coming from Colony, if you could sell
Yeah.
weed, you could have it.
Joe, you got it, man. Yeah, no, but like her entrance, her aura is just unreal,
Yeah.
and the Joey Janela stuff is also unreal.
She's also like 4 inches taller than him. Come on.
Yeah. He is such a dog. Like, he's such a lucky dog. God damn it. That son of a bitch. Anyway, moving on. Congratulations to Athena. We had our three-way match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Hurt Syndicate successfully defended against Jet Speed and the Patriarchy. I gotta say, this result was a surprise to me because I feel like if there's any way that you're gonna get the tag team titles off of the Hurt Syndicate, it's in a 3-way match where they don't have to be the ones to take the pin. But they did retain here, and obviously it led to a really hot post-match angle with Nick Wayne and the Patriarchy turning on Christian Cage. Get a big save from Adam Copeland. We're going to get Cage and Copeland, not Edge and Christian, Cage and Copeland as a tag team. And we're off to the races there. A lot to be excited tonight, especially going into tonight's AEW Dynamite, thinking about that. Oh my God, it's 8 o'clock. What did you guys think of this 3-way match?
I like the match. I think I even texted the group chat. I was like, this is a good group of tag teams. I love what the Hurt Syndicate's doing, especially at their age. I mean, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I've liked Christian's run this entire AEW cycle. I've been waiting for hints of him getting back with Edge, so I was excited to see that when Edge's music hit and he came out and there was the possibility. I mean, I was verklempt. I was getting emotional. I felt like when the Hardys came back at WrestleMania, like I'm nostalgic. I was feeling like borderline teary-eyed because I was so just overcome with emotion. I loved it. Loved every second of it.
Yeah, man, it was awesome. I'm so excited now to see what happens with these two. Do you think that there's a ceremonial moment where Christian just like destroys the turtleneck?
I don't know, but the fact that Edge comes out and he's just like, "Find yourself," and then walks. Oh, loved it.
Yeah, go find yourself instead of go fuck yourself. Great callback to that historic moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Brilliant. And that's why I also don't think you're going to get a payoff soon, Drunk. I think Christian's got to take some time off. I don't think.
Omar, what was the reaction like when Edge came out for the save?
So going into the event, I was a little bummed like that I wouldn't be able to get to see Edge, one of my favorites, like in person performing. So I could give a fuck about anyone else. I was so happy. The reaction was just explosive, and up until the end of the event, I didn't think that I was going to hear a bigger surprise pop than that. But it was like, I think people were like hopeful. Like the second that we saw like the pose just looked like we were going to get an Edge return. When the whole entire gang was in the ring about the concerto, it just looked up there. But I was less shocked by Edge's return than I was about Nick Wayne turning on Christian, because Christian is one of the most over heels.
Yeah,
like the "That's my dad" chant was echoing throughout the arena. Like he's just the amount of people making dad jokes who just love and buy into that gimmick. It's insane how over it is. So it was a pretty bold decision to take the title off him. Like you got to take that heat off of him. Did you think it was time, Druck? Like where were you on that trajectory?
I mean, like it never really crossed my mind because we're just so used to Christian being this super over heel. But now that it's here and now that it happened, I'm like, oh shit, and I'm down for this ride.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to happen. Would I have liked to have seen him a heel a little longer? I guess in hindsight, but I also don't like mind that this is happening either because it's got me super interested.
Yeah. No, I'm ready for this ride. Let's go.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Also,
I just don't know. Like, it's not from a writing perspective. Like, it's going to be interesting to see how they manage to navigate this, because he's irredeemable as his current character. So, like, how you can't just like make him like a redeemable person. Like, this is going to have to be a long burn, or like a slow burn.
Yeah,
He's
for
gonna have
Falcon
to
and stuff.
he's gonna have to make a huge donation to some deceased dad's organization.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
Yeah. Oh man. Another note about this. So, Bobby Lashley and Shelton are so crisp and so smooth. But that's the last nice thing I'm going to say about Bobby Lashley. On my way out, I walked by a hotel, and he was walking out in the flyest freaking gold suit I've ever, like the flyest suit in general I've ever seen in live and in person. And he just walked right by me, and like I've never been like I was just like, yeah, great work out there tonight. Like, and it just he looked at me, didn't even acknowledge it, and kept going. Like
Jesus.
nicer than the big show, but I didn't ask for a picture. I didn't stop walking. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like, this is what it is.
Yeah, just take the compliment. That I don't like that either, man. I'm sorry that was your experience there. But luckily, we did get a great experience with this AEW Women's World Championship match. Mercedes versus Tony. Holy shit, this was a great match. And boy, was I not expecting the result here, but I think it is justified. Tony Storm got retained over Mercedes Moné. This was an awesome match. I think this is a testament to just how over Tony Storm has gotten. And I think you could make a legitimate case that she's just as big of, if not a bigger star than Mercedes. And I think this was the right move here. Mercedes, maybe she needs to have kind of a downfall before she jumps into like the world title picture again.
Yeah, I can see that. So, I mean, Tony Storm is untouchable right now in all regards. Before matches, during matches, after matches. I mean, she's untouchable. Even her media thing was phenomenal every time.
Yeah.
That was a great match. Omar, I'd like to hear your opinion, but real quick, today's actually Bobby Lashley's birthday. I just checked. He's 49.
Well, let me take a moment to just say to him. Yeah. So what I thought about the match was, I said nothing. I was saying what he said in front of me. I will say I was curious to see what Mercedes' reaction would be like in person. So I didn't have this like thought of like, is she as over as Tony? Because I just feel like Mercedes, I can't tell on TV if it's X-Pac heat or heel heat. Okay, and also when you have your entrance song has piped in crowd noises, it's tough to like determine like what people's reaction is to that individual. So being there, I could confirm, okay, she's very over still. She has a huge contingency of fans that support her, but she is nowhere near the tier that Tony is when it comes to how invested the fans are.
Yeah.
Tony is there. No one was in the realm of the reaction that she got and the pop that she got from entrance to investment in the match. Dude, people were so tight anytime it looked like Mercedes was going to win. It like really like overly tight. And you can hear it in the pop of when she pinned her. It was relief more than anything. Like Tony is just a delight to witness. The same way the tag match was so satisfying. Everything in her presentation, her entrance, every little piece of pizzazz that she puts into her character is just watching a master at work. And I mean, it's just so awesome to witness. Like she's really, really, really someone who's at the top of their game.
You can make an argument that she's just been the MVP of AEW for the past calendar year. She is just so all in on, no pun intended, her character, her presentation, her promos, her matches, just everything, just the complete and total package, and somebody that is like a crossover star that you could make right now too.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, man.
She should be.
What about the match itself, though, guys?
MVP.
So we're like tell me what you guys thought about the actual match. Like objectively, how do you rate it with no context? As these two people who had a lot to prove and probably hold themselves to incredible standards, uh, like they really like they have to put on a performance like
I thought
together.
it
They
was
had high expectations of themselves and of each other.
I thought it was a very, very good match. Would I rate it above Rhea versus Io Bell the Bell? Probably not. I think that they get the advantage there, but for story and the emotion of this and just what was put into this, yeah, I thought it would be like match of the night on any other show.
Yeah. Mercedes, she puts on a good match. I know she has some glaring botches under her belt, but I think she's a solid wrestler. She puts on a good match, and Tony Storm just goes. So you have two good dance partners. I thought it was a great match.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love the
I
story.
agree. I agree with both of you
Like,
guys. I think in person, I was impressed by the match. I just there were some crazy spots. Like I really like spots where like in person, I was like, if someone's like Mercedes' neck, I was certain was broken. Like I don't. There's certain things where I'm just like I don't know how they're protecting themselves from these spots, and it's a credit to them. They were both fine, but it was hard hitting. They lived up to the billing and put on a great match, and I think they should both be like extremely proud of each other for the show that they put on. And the crowd was so freaking into it.
I mean, I feel like every match on this show was like a home run, one way or another. Uh,
Absolutely.
Just moving on to we got Okada versus Omega. This was great for what it was. I think if you went in with the expectation that it was going to be on the same level as their previous three matches, you were just going to set yourself up for disappointment. But for what it was, I thought it was really good. Obviously, these guys work amazing together, and I think the right guy won with Okada.
Yeah, I agree. And the problem is, I knew that it wouldn't live up to their New Japan matches, and I went in with that mindset. But it was so hard to not fall into that trap.
Absolutely.
I was doing it during the
Absolutely.
match. I kept being like, like it. I needed a little bit more. I needed a little bit more, and I knew they could never do that at this point in their career, and that's the problem. It was just the nostalgia was actually the downfall of it because I wanted so badly for it to be one of those type of matches, even though I knew that it couldn't be. So I think it ruined the match for me.
I don't know why you think that it has to be like they couldn't put on that level of match. I don't think any of the Kenny went through a lot physically, but Kenny's proven that Kenny can still go at the level that he needs to on a given night.
I don't know, man. I think he's just like I still think he's really good, but I don't think he's like I feel like the level that he was on when he was having those first matches with Okada is like Ospreay right now.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I mean that's fair, Jock, and I get that, but I don't think that he couldn't pull off that high caliber type of matchup.
Yeah,
I think he definitely missed.
I consider this a high caliber match. Like if I had to give it out of 5 stars, I'd give it like 4 out of 5 stars. Fair. I consider that a high caliber match. But I just
Good because the fifth match is going to be on par with the other matches, the initial trilogy. I promise you that. This match had to be what it was. So going into it, the expectation in person is I cannot believe that I am lucky enough to witness it. Like you could just see the chills around everyone. Like everyone was a giddy child as these guys are making their entrances, knowing that I am in person going to witness this match. And so there was no way that the expectations would have been met while for the people in the audience, okay? Because we already had these gigantic expectations. So it didn't match it, but like from a match standpoint, knowing that it's not going to be the ultimate payoff, knowing that there's no other result. Like Kenny can't win that match. Okada needed that win. Okada's entire purpose in AEW goes out the window if he loses that. Only one person needed that win from a character standpoint, in my opinion. And that's Okada.
And as me and Dan talked about last week too, like his match with Kota Ibushi reminded you of who Okada was. And to that point, Okada needed this win, and they shouldn't have been in this situation with Okada in the first place. They should have been actively building him the way that he should have been built. But I'm glad that we are where we're at right now, where Okada definitely has got his groove back. And, big win over Kenny. He's going to go in the Continental Classic. We'll see how that plays out. And, yeah, this was still a great match.
Yeah, Don Callis is the most hated human being like to walk this earth. Like really, like he has levels of heat that I like. There's no one comparable to how much people hate him. How people like "fuck you, Callis" chants start without him having to even be or one of his wrestlers even out there. So he's
I love that.
totally hated. I think like it became kind of clear about 2/3 of the way through the match that the match wasn't going to hit that standard that I think everyone was hoping for and expecting. But to me, it proved like these guys can still tell an amazing story together, and this was not some payoff. It could never be some payoff. Kenny was so over, and people were so desperate for Kenny to win. It was really sad for me. I think I was one of the only people in my section actively rooting for Okada, and yeah, I just don't think it could have gone any other way. Like, yeah, really.
For sure. I agree. All right. Yeah, that was just you think so going back, Omar, you think that there's going to be a fifth match with these guys? It's going to happen like
One
relatively.
thousand percent.
Yeah.
1000%. Kenny, as great of a wrestler as he is one of the best storytellers in the business.
Yeah, and he's a
What like
perfectionist too.
generally. Yeah, absolutely. This was not like like with the level that he holds himself to. There was no way that he was going to go into this match thinking that this is it. Like these guys have a story to tell. This was building up for over a year. We knew these guys were going to face each other at this event if the health held up, and it was just about getting here and planting the seed.
Mhm.
You also
So
can't have it end on a tie.
no, you can't exactly. But dude, now the issue is just spend the time necessary to build Okada to the level where every American viewer can and are like not just American, but some people who aren't familiar with New Japan can watch this guy and understand the scale of what he means to the business. That's Tony's task right now. That's his responsibility. Is to make sure that the next time these two face each other, the AEW audience is equally like pulled in both directions. They're questioning who they want to win, as opposed to like the 99.98%
I'll say
Kenny
this,
crowd.
Omar. I think that the next time that they wrestle each other, that match needs to be the star of the card. I think that this match
1000%.
it suffered from all the other high stakes matches that were happening on this card too.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I
Right,
think that they can
man.
go in that direction. Finally, the
But
AEW.
I'm sorry though, but did you guys feel like when you were watching Kenny that he wasn't clicking or wasn't like? Did you feel that
I
way?
thought he was doing a good job. I just feel like Kenny, just in general, is just kind of like a step behind of how he used to be, and that's saying that like how he used to be. He used to be just like 1,000 miles an hour, and now he's about 500 miles an hour.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's I mean he's in his 40s. He's slowing down a bit. Can he still go? Can he still put on great matches? He's still better than a lot of other people. Absolutely, but you can't expect Gretzky to be Gretzky all the time. You can't expect.
It's the same way that AJ Styles has slowed down. Like
Mhm.
he still can do a lot of great stuff, but like he's aged, you know.
Yeah.
But
Listen,
yeah,
I pulled a
Gretzky
muscle
and
laughing the other
Styles.
day.
Any other magas we want to talk about right now?
hey, he's a flat earther. We don't know if he's a
Like
MAGA.
like Druck said, Father Time is undefeated. I literally pulled a muscle laughing the other day. Age hits you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So, AW World Title: Adam Page against John Moxley, one of the most anticipated matches of the year. Right from the get, this was a violent as fuck match. He got forked to the head. This didn't end there. There were a bunch of run-ins that happened during this match. I felt like this was the AEW version of last year's WrestleMania main event, but with their own flair
Yes,
to
sir. Yes,
You
sir.
know?
I have not been. I've been eating with a spoon ever since Saturday. I've been so triggered and just like I can't even look at forks right now. But it was a good match. I think it was we remember that time period in AEW where it just felt like every pay-per-view they had like a new person show come in like when they had Bryan Danielson and all that.
Yeah.
We haven't had that in a while because, of course, they can't just sign someone up and have a new debut every big pay per view. But to have Darby and
Danielson
come back, that was the close. That was great.
It was just such a good culmination of a year-long story of all these
Damn, guys, let's jump to the end of the match like that.
No, we have to. And when they hid the belt and you finally got to see it, and it still had the side plates from Danielson, like you know what I mean? It was the closest to like the Sting beating Hulk Hogan payoff. So that's what I know. We've like in our group chat and in the past there's been discussion about like, oh my gosh, this Moxley run, when's it going to end? It's been lackluster. You know what? Well worth it. And I had a feeling that the payoff was going to make some of the downtimes well worth it.
The payoff did make it worth it. I do agree with you there. Were there times where it was just like we were in hell with this title run? Absolutely.
Yeah, because they had like Triple H in his reign of terror type of feels, where it's just like, dude, we're just watching the same people go over at the end of every show, week after week after week, like with no payoff.
But if you can do that right, that can be, that can be.
And they did it. And they did it right. But also, Joe, to your point about the importance of those returns, I think that was a major testament to the evolution of AEW, because there was even in the Casino Bound, or isn't there usually a big debut during that historically, or am I not remembering?
Generally, yeah.
Like,
and they had what's
like
that?
Ricochet premiered last year, right?
Yeah.
And the year before
that was before. Yeah, so like they've used that as like a showcase for new talent. So the fact that we left, and it wasn't like Darby's homegrown, but it was like in-story, in-house returns, not debuts that were the exclamation points. That's a major testament to where they are as a company now.
Exactly. They have stars. They have a roster. They don't need to like make a big splash with a big signing anymore. They have the dudes and the women.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I will say though, so one thing that really took me by surprise was the second that Okada and Kenny ended, the hype and the energy in the freaking building was through the roof. Like instantly elevated, as if it wasn't like 4.5 hours into a day spent sitting down in that arena. Like everyone was so hyped for that.
Because
Hangman's entrance.
Yeah, like you have this feeling of like, okay, well, we need to get to this match. You're so antsy about it because Hangman has to win this. You get like anxiety over it. I had anxiety watching the match. I was at the edge of my seat. I was standing up. John was standing up, walking around the room, pacing around the room with the near.
The entire crowd did the same shit because fucking 15 seconds into the match, they decided to show you one of the craziest spots I remember seeing in mainstream wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it was akin to the feeling of like going on that one crazy roller coaster for the first time, that you and the entire group going on the roller coaster are going for the first time, and you're all hyped, and then you realize the scale of what you're about to go through the second that you see the climb towards the first drop. And then the first drop was the fourth spot. And then after that point, dude, like the amount of people that weren't looking at the screen and just looking at each other like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? You're fucking crazy. And then follow that up with a crossface done by barbed wire. Like this, they booked it to perfection to ride the wave of energy brilliantly at the top of that show. Say whatever you want about previous bookings of large events. Like you guys, when you went to Shea Stadium for Grand Slam, like you guys told me that was a really, really long day. This was like this was the work of somebody who's learned from those experiences from a booking perspective. And I don't know if it's just him or if he's leaned on other people, but I was super impressed by the pacing of not just the overall card, but the individual matches. And this match was the perfect testament of how well paced it was.
Yeah.
Just a fucking battle.
Yeah, it was very well paced. I think the problem with Grand Slam was it was like a dynamite, and then we stayed for the collision, and collision wasn't as good. And we had like drove that night, so I think we were all just tired. But this did have
Oh,
good and it was a huge arena that was filled in, which I know a lot of people say, oh, look, they can't fill arenas. That was a huge arena that they filled in. That was like WWE pay-per-view type feel to it. And then even tonight now, they're back at a small one, and it looks great. It just has a good
You telling me that's bigger than Globe Field?
That was a big stadium that they were in. That looked very big.
Globe Field's a massive stadium too. How many people do you have?
No, I'm talking about All In. They had a huge stadium that they're filling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when people are like, "Oh, look at this! They can't even fill these TV shows." I don't care about the TV shows. They're TV shows for a reason. I care about the pay-per-view.
Yeah, but they're by design. They're thinking smaller venues.
Yeah, and the smaller venues look fine right now. I have it up on my monitor right here.
I'm looking at it right now. It looks like he's in a Casa Bonita.
But it works. Like I like that sometimes, right? Like I don't like how it's so cookie cutter. Every WWE show is like this big arena. Like I like when you get these unique ones. I like when you have balconies that people are sitting on. I want to see where they go for WCW Club Med or whatever. I want to see the ring on top of a pool.
Fuck
yeah, but I think the important thing is, Joe, is that they know how to shoot those arenas differently. You can't shoot those smaller venues the same way that you're shooting like in a basketball arena. And they figured out brilliantly how to maximize the talent in those small places.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So that's why I was genuinely impressed by how they handled the all-in stage, because it was at a way bigger scale, but it fit perfectly, even though in arena and from what I've seen on replays, they had quite a few camera botches in terms of transitions and shaky cams. But that's just natural.
Can I also say that Kyle Fletcher with these pink tights, he looks very the model Rick Martel.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm just waiting for the Boston Crab.
All right, guys. So I think we said all our piece today at About All In. We might have set a record for longest show in Smarknado history. So let's take a bow. That was time well spent with two of the greatest men that I have ever met in the history of this great sport.
Man, coming from you means a lot. I do miss Dan. I'm very happy for him. And I'm honored that I could have been speaking about it. And like I said in the group chat, it was one of the best days ever for me. And I felt your guys' presence with me the entire time. It was awesome. It was great. And thank you for this great card, pre-match, before the main event. I'm now going to call my girlfriend and break up with her. So thank you guys for all the great energy and positive vibes that I'm about to carry into my next call.
Oh, wow. So, well, I was in a similar situation about a week ago. So good luck to you on that, Omar.
Yeah, bro. Was the girl that you broke up with, is she doing the Nikki Cross gimmick in real life too? Because that's what I'm dealing with right now. I'm about to have the fucking ring start playing.
Not quite, but
yeah,
I'm sure she'll be fine. But anyways, guys, anything you want to plug?
Not right now. I don't have anything going on. There was a time where I was doing a lot of local politics and crazy stuff, but as I'm nearing in on 40, which is still 3 years away, I'm kind of taking like a little step back and just enjoying life and relaxing and being nostalgic, playing old video games, learning a new language, still doing international travel with my wife. So I got nothing to plug other than just like enjoy life. Stuff's crazy right now. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. Believe me, when you go anywhere other than America, you see how things are different.
Yes.
And it's just every day I see something new, and I'm like, what is going on? I feel like I'm in an alternate universe, so I'm taking a lot of time to just do the things I want to do, take things slow, enjoy life. And there's always time for that. You don't have to go and prove. And your mental health is very important. So make sure you're taking care of that. You know, your brain is a very important organ. So make sure you're taking care of it like you would take care of the rest of your body going to the doctor, you know? So that's it.
Love it.
And on my end, it's not on a similar vein, but definitely something veiny. Just want to plug my OnlyFans, OnlyFans.com, SlickDick29. Yeah, you know what it is. Special promo code, all in. And yeah, see you guys there.
Yeah, if you actually click the QR code up there on the top right, there is a 20% discount. So Omar's
Yeah, spoiler alert though, despite the promo code, I only get it halfway.
All righty. All right. Well, we've had a hell of a time, my friends. As always, guys, follow us on Instagram at Smarknado, Twitter at Smarknado1. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. And all I got to say is welcome to the world, Lincoln Augustus Cessnit, and stay fresh, cheese bags.
Woo!
Keep watching.
Yeah.
Great end.